What's up, chat? What's up? Welcome back to my channel. How are y'all doing? Welcome back to another episode of me drawing the thumbnail. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. To be honest, it's too many episodes. I should make it quicker. I should complete it quicker. I'm slacking off. Yeah. Okay. Why is it so bright? Let me just. It was too bright. Too bright. Why? Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot. When I'm streaming art, I should keep my chat over here and myself over here. Yeah, that was better, to be honest. This way I can explain and you can see what I'm drawing. You see, I made some changes on this. I started rendering the face. But I see some perspective differences. I have to correct it, man. Correct it now. Alright. Let me just... I don't know if I could do this or not, because I think I can. Like last time I did, I think. If I can select both of this and do a liquify selection. No, I can't. Selection layers, layer mask. What? Maybe if I select this place and do that. No? Okay. Maybe I should leave the perspective changes to another point of time. But the chat doesn't look good. I don't know why. Why doesn't it look good? How's it looking, chat? Is it working good? Is it working good? Oh, by the way, I changed my RAM of my laptop. So it might be a pretty lag-free stream. So let's see if it works well and it doesn't crash or not. Also, we need to check if PUBG can be played or not this stream. Just don't forget me. Like, just don't forget it. Remind me before I end the stream. I want to do that. Alright, I don't see anyone joining, but I'll just, if that's the case, I'll just start drawing, I guess. Let's just get on with it. Need some reference actually for my forearm, because for me I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I want to look at the reference. So once I get the form and shape of my arm, I guess I can start adding like extra values. Am I drawing on top of it? Yeah. Let's just delete this section. There is an anti-aliasing option over there. Let's delete it here. And then we create a selection again in the hand, so that we don't overfill the thing. Okay, let's do that, and we'll switch the color. This is the color that we were working with. If you look on the leftmost bottom corner, you see my color swatches. Swatches is the term that you use for like the colors that you have saved. So this is the skin tone section that I've saved from multiple mood pictures. So yeah, I'm gonna use this to create some insane art. So now I'm gonna reduce my brush size and stick to whatever I can do right now. I'll press X to create another color merge into the section that I'm drawing. And I'm gonna blend this in so that it doesn't look too muddy. I don't want it to be muddy, I just want to create like a, what do you call it? Just want to create some like textures. This would be like that. I'll create some shadows over here, and this whole section of my finger should be in the shadow. Yeah, that's probably how it should look. Okay, do I add some saturations on the finger? Yeah, I should. Absolutely. Because this saturation would act as like blood flow in your fingers and arms, and I would like to have that. All right, then we move on to another dark shade, which will possibly create the 3D look over here. So with like the darkest value, what I would do is that I would try to create like a hard edge so that it doesn't like make the whole piece super muddy. It's going to make it like a bit natural, probably. Let's try, but now I don't think I'm doing it right because the bicep should be like that. It should have a particular shape, language that needs to follow. And this is going to be not parallel to the biceps because when you look at the arm over here, that's the bicep line, and then you have like an extra skin that's hanging around. That's what I'm trying to replicate over here. And then you will have like a dark value. Sometimes it's going to be straight over here. And I'll make the brush a bit bigger and create like the texture over here. Might work. Because this isn't the darkest value that I'm going to draw, because there's another color that's like close to black, but it's a bit brown. I'm going to use that to create the darkest values over here. But to create this muscle of the forearm, I need to reduce the brush size and then use strokes to follow along. And then I probably need to like create a darker value over here too. This is it. That's what I think, what I can do right now. I'll do this. Need a bit of dark values inside the arm. Yeah, most of the time when you use like shadows, like the brushes that needs like pretty much a weight of the shadow brushes, you don't draw in like with thick brushes. You just need like hard edges and signify most of the, what do you call the 3D shapes. That's what you need to convey through like using these hard brushes. That's what you need to do most of the time. And over here I need to like create an illusion or a shadow of the pen that I'm holding. So I'll most probably do this, and then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a saturation over here. Just something like that. Because all of the shadows that we cast upon ourselves and on other subjects, it's not going to be a crystal clear like dark subject. It's going to be like a rod. If you place a rod in front of me and I'm casting a shadow over here, it's not going to be like a darker value of my skin tone. It will be a darker value, but it will have like a space where it's like blurred, but then it's saturated. That's what makes the piece pop out. At least that's what I think it does. And let's move on to the darkest values that I've used in it over here, if you see clearly. I'm gonna add it over here on the sleeve of the jersey. I'm going to push harder with my pen because it's sensitive to my pen. I can do it. need to darken the value or inside of the palm of my hand, because that place doesn't really get struck by any of the light sources. So I don't need those light sources on my piece. But rest of the places where I'm drawing right now, it's just a matter of like smaller brush strokes and like creating the illusion that there are like wrinkles or whatever you think might be useful for the piece. That's all you can add right now. It looks a bit hideous, I agree, but yeah, I just need to shift some of the anatomy right now, but I'm not gonna do it right now, so that I can focus on other stuff. So I'll move on to the arm over here, which is like completely tucked out. I need to like put on some dark values over here so that it won't like pop out. And I need to create another selection, like a cleaner selection. Yes. And then I need to like make the values a bit darker over here. And make it a bit lighter underneath. Add some saturation and blend it in so that it's not super on the face. Then I'll take a small round brush, make that darker value. Maybe that works. Hope it works. Yep. The skin rendering is done. I have to rename this layer so that I don't forget it. Skin R. What is this layer? It's my pen and my sleeve. So I don't have to worry about it too much right now. I think I'll move on to the shirt, because that's one of the hardest things to tackle in a piece. Yeah, for this, I have to create another swatch. Most probably I won't create a swatch because I'm not going to use it that much. Because skin, you play with it around a lot, so you need that swatch saved so that you can reuse it again and again. But for the shirt, you don't need that. You don't need that. You'll probably wear or use that color once or twice. Like most probably like once or twice in a year. You don't need that swatch ready to go. So what I'm going to do is that I'll try to mimic the color, mimic the texture of the shirt, and try to uh, make it as 3D as possible. So I need a um, reference right now. I'm just gonna quickly search up a t-shirt reference. I just want to know how the texture, like how the cloth would behave if it's on a person. That's what really matters right now. So what you wanna look for is a person wearing a shirt, obviously. Obviously. Just need to find something and then work with that. I'm trying to search for some references right now. I don't know if this would work because that's right. Yeah. Because the reference that I pulled up right now, if you can't see it because I'm not sharing it right now, but the reference is a person with a t-shirt, but he's lifting his arm up, so the t-shirt would like create these ridges over here when you see it from the side like this. It's creating those ridges, and I'm gonna use that ridges to my piece. So what I need to do is that I will try to create those ridges with another brush, like a darker brush of this color tone, and I'm going to put in some like light or like what do you call it? A highlight onto the shirt that'll create that'll make the shirt not 2D like 3D. And also I have to when I'm doing that, I also have to like think of this as like I have to think of the lights that's going to affect the shirt as well. Because over here, when you look at the big picture, you have light from your tablet that's going to reflect upon your face and your shirt. And also you have the light source which is like switched on over here and the yellow light source over here. I have to consider all of that. And also there's going to be a light source which is behind the camera. There's a lot of lights and I have to think of all of that when I'm drawing that. So, should I? Because I've seen people do that. Like many of the professionals do that. They create a ball and they map out every other light source that's going to affect the ball, and they'll just do a quick like paint over on the ball so that it'll show where the shadows and where the highlights would be. So if I do that, it's going to be easy to track everything because I can just see that ball and try to replicate the ball onto this texture or onto the element that I'm painting right now. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I'll use this layer as maybe I'll rename this thing as a light ball and I'll keep it underneath this. So what I'll do is that I'll go to this section. I'll use this. I'm holding on to shift over here. That will create the circle. And I'm going to take a paint bucket tool, fill it up. And I'll use a brush. Where's my brush? Here. With the brush, I'll probably what I'm a yellow brush. I'm going to consider the ball as me, and I'm going to draw whatever light source is going to hit me from whatever direction. So I have one small light source from over here. Wait, I might have to zoom in so that you guys can see. Yeah. I have a small light source over here, which is like the tablet and the laptop and everything else. I have that. And let's just make this. Yeah. I have that, and I have another light source which will come from here. It's not. It's a bit higher. Going to be something like that. Yeah. And the final light source would be behind me, to be honest. It's something like, yeah, something like over here. It's going to be something like that. So it will be like this. It will hit me like that. Yeah. So these three are the light sources which is going to hit me, and I know the color of the light source. I'm going to use that color to paint over this ball. And I have another like a simple light source which is going to be from over here. I think I'll just go in front. What I'm going to do is that I'll do like a quick shade so that I know what it is. Okay, these are the 4 light sources that works on my skin. So, considering this is the first one, what I'm going to do is that right now, what I'm going to use this skin tone color. That'll make. Sorry, I need to use this. Yeah, I'm going to use that to create like a texture over here, but might have to use something else like this brush. Yeah. Okay. This is how it looks right now. My skin should look right without the colors. It's without these 3 light sources. It should look like this. But over here, that's the light source from my yellow light. That should just cast upon like a little bit of. Sorry, just need to. Yeah. That's all it's going to cast right now on my skin, and nothing else. It shouldn't cast anything else. That's all it should do. Like a yellowish tint that's going to be casted upon my outline of the skin. And another light source would be the white light that's sitting in front of me, and it's a bit tilted, so it will only capture like the front of my skin. So what I'm going to do with that is that I'm going to select this. I'm going to make the brush a bit bigger. A bit too much, actually. I'd need like an airbrush, a soft airbrush. that's what is going to be casted upon my skin, like a white layer, like a simple highlight. So that's going to take away most of the things over here, and I might have to change it to this here, which means most of my shadows would be on this side right now. If I look, that's not the color. This is the color. Wait a minute. I'm going to smoothen it out a bit so that it's not like super into my face right now. Yep, and then I have this which I'm working with right now, and then the final light source would be from the tablet. That's going to be pretty, what do I say? Pretty bright, to be honest. It's going to be pretty bright. And it's going to bleed into some of the colors over here. And it's going to soften out. If I do that, okay. Hi Sini, Arjun. Hi and Arjun. First viewer. Thank you for joining. How was your day? WL മാറ്റി വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കും ഡിഫറെന്റ് വേറെ Q&A ഇട്ടാലോ? Q&A ഇട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതില് എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ വന്നിട്ട് ആൻസർ പറയാൻ പറ്റും. എന്താ ഇടുക? ഡിന്നർ എന്തായിരുന്നു എന്ന് ചോദിക്കാം. എന്താ പറയാ? യെസ്, ഡെയിലി ഡിഫറെന്റ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ്. ഓക്കെ. എന്തായിരുന്നു ഡിന്നർ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാലോ? ഇട്ടുണ്ട്. അയ്യോ, ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസിലോട്ട് മാറി എന്റെ ചാറ്റ്, സോറി. ഹായ് സിനി, ഹായ് അനു. താങ്ക് യു ഫോർ ജോയിനിങ്. ചാറ്റിനെ മാറ്റി വെച്ചാലോ? ചാറ്റിനെ കാണുന്നില്ല ഇവിടെ. ഈ ടൈം ലൈൻ ഞാൻ എന്തായാലും യൂസ് ചെയ്യില്ല. ടൈം ലൈനിൽ വെച്ചാൽ മതി. Very awkward place to keep it, but should I minimize it a bit? This way to work. ഞാൻ താഴെ പോണോ? ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ ഇരിക്കണോ? പറ്റുമല്ലേ? ശരി. എന്താണ് പറയുക? നിങ്ങളുടെ ഇത് പറ. പൂരി പനീർ. എടാ അതില് പറയടാ, ഇതില് വന്ന് പറയണ്. ആ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസിൽ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്യണം, എന്നിട്ട് അതിലിട്. Okay, the light thing that I have over here, it's going to cast like a simple highlight, which is going to bleed into the highlight that I already have. So that's probably how it should look. I'm going to keep that as a reference and then work with this. നോക്കട്ടെ ശരിയായിട്ടുണ്ടോ. ആൻസർ കൊടുക്കാനുള്ള ഓപ്ഷൻ ഇല്ല ഇതിൽ. എടാ എനിക്ക് കാണിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, ഇതിൽ ആസ്ക് എ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എന്നാ കാണിക്കുന്നു. ആൻസർ കൊടുക്കാനുള്ള ഓപ്ഷൻ ഇല്ല. പക്ഷെ ഞാനത് അമർത്തിയപ്പോ എനിക്ക് അതിന്റെ ഉള്ളിലാണല്ലോ വന്നത്. Start a Q&A. Okay. Start a Q&A means answer viewers question live. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ എന്ത് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ വേണമെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കണമെങ്കിൽ അതിൽ ചോദിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ ആൻസർ പറയുന്നതാണ്. അത് പറയുന്നു. ഓക്കേ, അപ്പൊ അത് കാര്യമില്ല. എന്നാ പോള് കളഞ്ഞിട്ട് വേറെ പോള് ഇതാ. എന്ത് പറയുന്നു? All closed. അത് മതി. ഓക്കെ, അതിൽ എത്ര ഓപ്ഷൻ വേണമെങ്കിലും കൊടുക്കാം എനിക്ക്. എന്ത് കൊടുക്കാം? ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിക്കാണ്ട് തന്നെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഓപ്ഷണലാണ്. ഓക്കെ, ഇതിനെ പോളിന് നിങ്ങൾ ആൻസർ ചെയ്യണം. ഞാൻ ഇടാൻ പോവാണ്. എന്ത് പറയൂ. ചാറ്റ് ഭയങ്കര മുകളിലോട്ടായി പോകുന്നത്. What do I do with chats? സാധാരണ ഇരുന്ന സ്ഥലത്ത് തന്നെ ഇരുന്നോട്ടെ. F questions, true. അതെ, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ ഇട്ട്. Where do I keep the chat? It's a bit too big. No. താഴെ വെക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. താഴെ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് ഇങ്ങനെ and you won't probably see it. ഇങ്ങനെ വെക്കാം. ഇങ്ങനെ വെക്കാം. ഇത് മതി. I know more people will vote Kuttusan, but Digini was more iconic in characterization and looks. True. കുട്ടൂസന്റെ ക്യാരക്ടർ ഡിസൈൻ കുറച്ച് സ്റ്റോളൻ ആണെന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നുണ്ട്. കുട്ടൂസൻ ഇസ് നോട്ട് ലൈക്ക് സൂപ്പർ, എന്താ പറയാ, വെൽ ബിൽറ്റ് ക്യാരക്ടർ അല്ല. അതിൽ യോജിക്കുന്നു? നിങ്ങൾ യോജിക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? ഡാഗിനിയാണ് ഇപ്പൊ ജയിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. ലെറ്റ്സ് സീ, കുറച്ചു നേരം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം എന്താണ്. ബൈ ദ വേ, ഈ സെറ്റപ്പ് കൊള്ളാവോ? ഇങ്ങനെ വെച്ചാൽ മതിയോ അതോ ഇനിയും എന്തെങ്കിലും മാറ്റങ്ങൾ വരുത്തണോ? I don't understand. ഇത് മതിയോ? എല്ലാം അത്യാവശ്യം രീതിയിൽ കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ? Come on. Should I just move it here? ഇങ്ങനെ വെച്ചാലോ? ഡാറ്റ അതിന്റെ ബാക്കിൽ പോയില്ല. Okay, back to drawing. With the reference pulled up over here, I'm going to draw with it. അതിനു മുന്നേ I just need to make sure I have this color picked. I need like a darker shade of this color, and it should be a bit darker too, right over here somewhere, saturated, and it should be on a brush, the brush that I like. Yeah, this is going to be another color that's going to be over here. Should be a bit lighter too. That's the color that I'm looking for. Okay. What I want to create over here is like a shadow for this section. So what I want to do is I'm going to create a selection over here to make the shadow. I'm going to fill it. And then over here, I'm gonna use the brush, color pick this, erase the section over there, and then create it again. Okay, I don't think that this would work. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select everything that's red, because it's bleeding onto the white that I have. I don't want that to happen. There's going to be a serious shadow on the right of the shirt because it's the most covered part over here. This isn't particularly the darkest value right now, so I don't care if I'm doing this wrong right now, because this is going to be overshadowed by the darkest value later on. So what I want to create is that texture that's going to reveal the 3D value of the shirt. So mostly the folds come from underneath the arm. So what I need to remember is that it should be something like that. Create a value like that. So over here, I'm not trying to change the brush size because I want to keep the darker values as it is. And sometimes I do change it, but most of the times I don't, because I want to create that 3D texture. Maybe the multiply layer works better. And I can just remove this. Yeah, the multiply layer works better. I can always change the color afterwards. So what I'm going to do is right now is that I'm going to select whatever I've drawn right now. I'll probably use edit and then tonal correction, hue and saturation to make it like the color that I need. Shouldn't be that saturated, and it should be a bit less highlighted per se. I'm going to make it the normal layer, and then I'll color pick this thing. Should be something like that. And then I'll have no, sorry. I'll have this color on the first one. This is going to be the original color. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to make it a multiply layer. I'm going to use the eraser to erase out any unwanted shadows that I see, because none of the shadows is going to be casted like that. And then I'm going to use some eraser brushes to create like folds which are like not, which doesn't carry much of like the texture that I'm trying to replicate over here. I'm going to do that, and then I'll add in more texture wherever I need. I need some highlights somewhere, so I don't care if like I mess it up, but yeah, mostly pay attention to things that I want right now. Maybe erase this section where it merges into the white. It's going to be dark. This is going to be dark as well. That's going to be dark. I'm going to flip so that I'm not missing any key details. I'm going to blend some of them so that it's not too overpowering, because sometimes the shadows might overpower and I don't want that to happen. Okay, I'll create another layer and another multiply layer for the white sections of the shirt. What I'm going to do is that I'll select the white section and then make it a bit saturated and a bit darker as well, so that it'll create like a, yeah, I think that's the color. Yeah. So what I need to do is that I'll add these over here. Okay, over here I need to replicate the things again, like with the... Okay, it needs to be the other way. Sorry. Nah. Might be overdoing it a bit much. Does it feel a bit saturated over here? Ah. It shouldn't be that way. Then I'll take a kneaded eraser, erase like some sections of it to create that texture. And I'll use like a liquify tool. Yeah. That looks much better from my standpoint of view. I'll do that and then I'll erase this bit. But this looks a bit better. And then I'll add another layer which is like a highlight. So I'll add it in an add glow layer. If you can see, I think you can't. Yeah, you can. It's just below where I am, if you can see my cursor. Then I'll add in some highlights. It's a bit too saturated. Overlay. What is overlay with me? Overlay. Yeah, overlay works, I guess. Nah, overlay makes it a bit too much. Yeah, this works. It doesn't necessarily... It doesn't necessarily have to be too bright. Just needed to make the jersey a bit like shiny because that's how it is in real life. And then I'll add like some things which personifies the jersey a bit more. I think it's good. All that's left over here right now is going to be the hair. And I'll probably use a multiply layer to map in the dark colors. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a selection. And I'm not going to paint anything over the selection for now. It's a bit too bright. And I need a change of brush. Yes. It's going to be bright, dark. What am I doing? I need to map out any places that's going to be dark first. Most of my back of the hair should be dark, so I'll do that. I'll make the brush a bit bigger. And then I'm going to do this so that it has some texture to it. Yeah. Be a bit darker. I'll take a square brush. gonna create another multiply layer on top of it because this is going or darken layer. Darken layer would be one. It's not working. Multiply. Multiply. I'm going to erase it so that this. Okay, and then I need a add flow layer, something like that, but reduced opacity. Something like that, but it needs to be a bit. Yeah. Yeah, like that. A smaller brush. Going to be super. What do you call it? Super rough with this because it's not really the things that defines your hair pattern. The highlights sure do define your hair pattern, but what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to create some strokes over here so that it's like it's readable, but it's not like super dependent, if I might say. Because right now I don't care about the shape language of it, and then I'm going to like use the eraser to create like streaks of highlights. This is what's going to set the piece apart. Is this section where it'll be like, oh, I've added something, but I'm gonna take it off. That gives that feeling where the hair would flow. You see it? You see it? You see how well I painted the hair? That's how you should paint a hair. It's not like if you zoom in, you can see that there's nothing going on. But if you zoom out, it's somewhat perfect. Somewhat. I wouldn't say it's perfect. Somewhat. And if I have to like add a super cinematic glow to it, I wouldn't do it right now because I have to think about all of the background stuff and the coloring sequence that's going to go on top of this. So I don't have to like pay attention to that right now. I'll most probably do it what what is going to be the base of the picture, like the basic rendering, and the mood and the color of the piece should be almost like last, because that's most of the like the photo editing section that needs to be done. So for now, the character, the me, I'm happy with it. The only things that's left out right now is to paint the glasses. I'm gonna leave it as it is right now. I don't want to mess with it as too early because I'm going to change some proportions on my face later on, so I don't have to pay attention to it now. And what I need to do right now is that, sorry. I wanted to do something over here. Okay, I have to render the table. That's pretty easy actually. I would do it right now. What's the table? Yep, found it. Funny. Okay, what I need to do is that I need to create a multiply layer. What? Oh, that's a liquefier. Sorry. What I'm going to do is that I'll use this. That's too dark. It's a bit too dark, so I'll move it up a bit. Then I'll do this. Places where I need that, where I think I need the darkness. But I'll most probably need the whole thing as dark as possible because it feels a bit too light. Yeah, and then what I need is a darker value and a rake brush. It's going to be in my texture brushes. I had it somewhere. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. So I need a smaller rake brush. Just need to zoom in, see if it works. Yes, it works. So what I need to do is that I'm going to create a selection. Doing that, I just need to draw like straight lines. That's what I'm going to do. I don't need any much of the super texturized things. Might need another stroke of it. Over here. Because I can see that some places are a little bit like light. That's going to be that. Need another brush. Make this place a bit dark as well. This is like a blending brush, I guess. So need to rotate the whole thing, keep it as it is, zoom out a bit. I'm gonna darken these places because these places are that's going to be in the darker values mostly. To darken it a bit more. Yep, I think that's good. The places are that I've kept my stand, I'm going to darken it a bit more so that I convey the message of like there's something darker underneath it. So when like the highlights come into play, it's going to be a bit more clear. Okay, that looks good. Okay, what time is it? Yeah, I've been going live for 1.5 hours, almost 1.5 hours. Okay, what I wanted to do today is that, hmm, what I wanted to do, I'm gonna create, no, sorry. Okay, what I wanted to do is that if I can stream PUBG without like the game crashing and everything. I wanted to check that before I end the stream because today I feel like that's a lot of info for today. I mean, all that's left is that I have to render all of this PC, the thing, like my drawing tablet and everything. That's good. That's pretty easy. It's going to take me like 5 minutes or to render all of this stuff. Like most of the things over here, that's going to take like almost like 5 minutes for me. Uh, oh, I have to stop the music. That was the copyright strike. No, there was a warning right now. Okay, what I need to do is right now I just need to like render like all of the things that's on the table. That's going to take me like 5 or 10 minutes. It's done, and I have to like uh, add a bit more like shadows and things onto the wall that I have because I see a lot of shadows which is being casted upon, and I get that because there's going to be light which is like inside the room that's going to cast a shadow on like from the laptop onto the wall, and there's going to be shadows which would be casted up because of this light that's going to be casted up on this wall, and that would be neglected by the light which is behind the stand. So it's a lot of work. That's going to take me a lot of time, to be honest. I feel like that's going to take me around like probably 2 or 3 hours mostly because I need to understand how that works as well. And I have to like add a bokeh effect or like vignette onto this piece and have like film texture, like a film layer on top of each of the posters so that it's a bit reflective. And I need to create all of this thing, like the mood of the piece. And I feel like I'm going to put it in a sunsetty feeling. I think I have a gradient map over here, which I saved. I think it's this one. Yeah, the sunset one. If I take a look at it right now, I think this layer, no, another, if I add another layer, I have this saved, but I don't think I'll use this one. It's like that, something like that. I think I use this for the Omni-Man one. The Omni-Man piece that I did. I use this gradient map, and it's a bit, how do I call it? It's a bit smooth, actually. I want it to be like eye-popping, saturated thing. So probably I'll mess around, try to find out what works, and that might put me where I want. So maybe if I move this layer up, maybe that'll show me how it works. Just beneath the sketch layer. Yeah. This is how it looks, to be honest. If I add another one and then bump up the, yeah, something like that, but it's going to be a pretty beautiful piece to look at. It's not going to be super on your face, but I'll make sure I'll get it correct because from using a gradient map like this onto the piece, like blatantly, it won't work because there's a lot of shadows that need to be casted upon, and it's going to take some time. But yeah, that's what I need to keep in mind for now. But yeah. I just wanted to show that for now. I'll delete it and then that's it for today, I guess, for the art stream. Just need to save the file. I'm gonna close it and I'm gonna check if the PUBG works. We need the music. And I have a lot of Chrome tabs open. I just need to close it before I open it. I open PUBG. Let me just, okay, it is open. Let's check if it works. Hopefully, hopefully. Is it lagging? Maybe it's not. I'll wait for a while because I reinstalled the game like yesterday. It's going to take a while. I think maybe it might update some changes. It says the CPU usage is at 7%, so hopefully it would hang on to like, it will probably cap out to like 60, maybe. Let's see. Let me check the audio mixes. It's working well. Seems. Um, This is going to be the art one, and for the games, I would move myself over here to the left top corner, and probably that might work. I don't see much lag on my screen. Yeah, now it does. My camera is lagging a bit. NVIDIA highlights. No, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm gonna go and go to advanced. That's very low, very low, very low. Okay. That's set to that. Let's try the basic training because last time the basic training didn't work well. Maybe this time it would work. I have the game open on my tablet, so I'm gonna look over here most of the time, but I'll just check if it works or not so that we can stream on Sunday PUBG PC. Because it's been a while. It's been a while for the competitive mode. I mean, it works fine. Works fine, right? Yeah, it does work fine. I did. Why didn't you count it? It is a bit laggy. It is a bit laggy. I mean, yeah, yeah. My camera is a bit laggy, but the game, I don't know. Yeah, it is a bit. Sometimes it's a bit laggy, and I don't know what's making it lag. Let me check. I'm gonna pick up everything. Okay, the task manager just opened right now. I was clicking it like 2 minutes ago. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth stream. Wow. Okay, it's not the RAM, it's the CPU actually. The CPU is capping up. Processor isn't processing enough. I mean, it works all right. Works all right. It's just my face cam that's lagging. Just needs some way to work around it. It's the CPU. Let's see it. It's at 96%. It's just an i5 Intel. Oh, I can't expect more. Did it lag? Wow. How do I heal? Seven use medkit. 8 use first aid kit. Okay. Nice. Zero. Reviving. I need to revive a teammate. Yo, what you doing over there? You good? Look at this go. I'm done with basic training. Wow. Okay, the good thing is the game isn't crashing. That's a good thing. But the bad thing is it's still taking up my CPUs. So it's a bit harsh. Rabbit season set. Wow. Nah. It's alright. It works fine right now. It's just my face cam now. I need to check why. Maybe if I reduce resolution, probably it works. Okay, it's not that problematic right now. Can't I? Oh, it's on training. Can I play rank? I can. Play scan control. Wow. Okay, I think we are good to go for this. So I'll check again on Thursday if this works or not. And if this works again on Thursday, you guys are up for a treat. You guys are up for a treat. Guess this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Okay. Anyway, I just got 2 views today, but that's better than 0 views. And I thank you all. Thank you for watching the stream live. And if you're watching it afterwards, thank you all for joining today to see or watch me draw. And it excites me that people watch me draw, and maybe they get inspired. But yeah, thank you all for joining. Thank you for today, for taking your time and clicking and going through my YouTube account and getting into my life. Thank you for watching today's stream, and we'll catch you. I mean, I'll catch you on Thursday. That's going to be the reaction stream, and we'll react to some of the reels that we've been sent. I see that I have like eight messages. I checked yesterday. I see that I've got like 8 messages. I'm going to react to all of them. That's going to be what's going to come on Thursday. But yeah, thank you all for today. Thank you for joining. I'm going to end the live today because it's been 1 hour 40 minutes, and I hope you all have a wonderful night ahead, wonderful evening ahead, or wonderful morning ahead. I wish you all the best for anything that you need, and catch you all on Thursday. Until then, bye bye. Bye bye.